Hello everybody, Claudia here, and today's video is the what I got for Christmas video, but it's the 2015 version, the nice, interesting follow-up to the 2014 version, which I did around this time last year. A lot of people have been really interested in this. I've had loads of people asking me to do this, so thanks if you've requested this video. I'm really excited to make it, but it's the sort of thing that you don't want to you don't think people are going to be interested in it, but I'm glad that you are, because it makes me feel like less show-offy to make a video like, oh look what I got for Christmas this year. But yeah, I got some amazing stuff, and I'm so lucky and so grateful. My family have been so generous, and my brother especially has got me one of the best presents I've ever received in my whole life, and I got really emotional when I opened it. And you will see why when I show you it. So as you probably know if you follow my channel, I'm a huge history nerd, British history nerd around the medieval Tudor periods. Although I'm not picky with my British history, I just love the kings and queens stuff about history. Even though I'm really anti having a monarchy, I just find it really fascinating. Even the royals today I'm pretty fascinated by, which is really kind of weird because I have mixed feelings when I see them on TV, because I'm fascinated by their lifestyle and the fact that they're sort of part of this amazing chain of people and this chain of history, but at the same time I kind of resent them a little bit, but I also feel sorry for them, because this is not a video about my thoughts on the royal family. I have no ill will towards them, I should probably say, before I get hate mail. But yeah, so I'm kind of obsessed with the royals throughout British history, especially women in British history in the Tudor and medieval times, and my mum knows this, and actually I picked this present myself. Now this is the first thing that my mum got me, and it's weird because I'm seeing it on the camera screen backwards, so let's have a read. It is The Women of the Cousins' War, The Real White Queen and Her Rivals by Philippa Gregory, also by David Baldwin and Michael Jones. Hello David and Michael, who get a little undercredit there. Yeah, this is controversial for history lovers, because Philippa Gregory is, in my opinion, I think she's a really good writer, and I love reading her historical fiction, but the thing is, it's not really that accurate, and what she did to Jane Boleyn in The Other Boleyn Gun and the Boleyn Inheritance is just so questionable for me, because I'm getting into another history thing again. I'll try not to. But she writes really good fiction, is how I'll put it. It's great fiction, but I wouldn't say she's particularly great on actual history itself. However, I had been watching The White Queen, the TV series online, and I actually really enjoyed it, and maybe it's because I don't know a lot about that period in great detail, but I'm trying to learn more about it. It was kind of a good sort of window into the time period, and now I want to get stuck in learning about the people themselves. So I thought it would be a good book because I really enjoyed the TV series, and I want to just fill my brain with knowledge about women in the Tudor and medieval Wars of the Roses periods. Following that theme, I got this book from my mum as well, which is called Blood Sisters, and yeah, it's basically about, well, the women behind the Wars of the Roses. I'll put that up on the screen for you. This is by Sarah Gristwood, which is great. Oh, it's got a recommendation from Alison Weir here as well, which is great. I don't know if this is me being discriminatory or not, and I'm not sure, but I actually tend to prefer reading books about women from history when they're written by other women, because in my experience of reading them, I've read some David Starkey stuff about the Tudors, and some of what he has to say is really interesting, and he's obviously a very clever man, but I find he's really harsh on the wives of Henry VIII, and some of his sort of descriptions of them are quite misogynistic and sexist, and I really don't like that. I feel like a lot of male historians, not all male historians, but some male historians just don't appreciate the difficulty that women were in that time, and can kind of judge them pretty harshly. But that's just me, maybe I just haven't come across the right ones, but I tend to be more leaning towards female writers when it comes to historical women. And this is the last book my mum got me, and the one I'm most excited about, and it's called How to Be a Tudor. So yeah, it's A Dawn to Dusk Guide to Everyday Life by Ruth Goodman. At the moment, you might not know this because I haven't spoken about this before, I'm actually writing a novel at the moment. Because of my anxiety and my panic disorder, I find it really difficult to be in public and to go out, and I get panic attacks all over the place, and it's incredibly embarrassing and awful. But I wanted to do something because, I'm inside a lot. So basically, a few months ago I started writing a novel. It's not about the Tudor period, it's actually about World War II Germany, but now I've thought of another novel I want to write, but obviously it's quite difficult to find those details about the Tudor period, like the really intricate stuff about, like, you know, what exactly they ate and what their attitudes towards random things were, which you need to get into the head of Tudor characters. So I thought this would be really helpful in writing that second novel if I ever finish the first one, which is actually halfway through at the moment, so yeah, I'm hoping to get that published this year, but we shall see. Okay, so my next present from my mum, and I'm aware I'm like super lucky to get so many presents, I do know this, I'm so grateful, yeah, kind of overwhelmed actually, just really thrilled, is this amazing art print. Do you see it? Oh, there's a reflection. You're just seeing reflections of my room now, aren't you? There we are. I'm getting too distracted by the reflection of my room to show you it properly. But yeah, so we have Padme, Leia, and just in the darkness there we have Anakin, aka Darth Vader. I'm really a big Star Wars fan, like a major Star Wars fan, and especially captivated by, well, family drama and sibling drama are like my thing that I like in fiction, and combine that with sci-fi, and amazing characters like Princess Leia, and I'm just completely sold. So I love this so much. I love mother-daughter relationships and parent-child relationships, so this is just perfect for me. And I love the sort of pre-Raphaelite way that Padme's been drawn in this. Like, I think Padme's entire styling for Attack of the Clones was really lovely. It was like how I would like to dress if I was an alien woman from some other planet somewhere. Now last year, and I'm not sure if it was for Christmas or my birthday, but I might have shown you, they're actually on the shelf behind me here, if you can see them. My grandma and granddad got me these amazing little ornaments of some of the wives of Henry VIII, but it wasn't a complete set because it's really difficult to get them in a complete set. So as a complete surprise for me this Christmas, basically they got me the rest of the set that I hadn't got. And they've been looking, and I've been looking for these things for such a long time. And my granddad found them online and he ordered them for me. And my granddad is the best, by the way. I don't talk about my granddad that much, but I just love him so much. He's so precious to me. He's just so wonderful. And yeah, I'm just really thrilled. So I'm going to show you the remaining little things that I got in that set. So I'll start with little Henry himself. Look at his big old head. Yeah, you're a bad man, Henry. So that's Henry there. Look at his little face. He's so angry and dictatory, throwing tantrums all over the place, aren't you, Henry? He's not going to be going next to any of his wives. He's going to go on the shelf of shame. I don't have a shelf of shame yet, but I'm going to actually make a shelf of shame, especially for him. Okay, now we have the beautiful Anne of Cleves. I'm not going to make this into a Tudor history video, but Anne of Cleves was Henry VIII's fourth wife, and she came over from Germany. The king didn't actually see her. He got a portrait artist called Holbein to paint portraits for the eligible bachelorettes. Yeah, eligible bachelorettes around Europe at that time. And he chose her portrait, but when he met her in real life, he thought she was very ugly and not his type, although a lot of people think that's really his pride talking. I mean, other people around the time said that Anne of Cleves was like a really nice, gentle lady and like was quite nice looking, reasonably good looking. And, you know, for today's standards, judging by her portrait, she's lovely looking. So, you know, Henry's just mean, basically, and throwing a tantrum. But, yeah, I'm really excited to have Anne to partly complete my set. Look at her up close. Isn't she lovely? See, she's so beautiful. Like, why would Henry say such mean things about this beautiful woman? But anyway, you're going to go on my shelf, my dear, and I will treat you very well, and you'll be with the other wives, and you'll all get on famously. Okay, so last of all, to complete the set, is Catherine Parr. You shall see Catherine Parr here. Catherine looks a bit tired, doesn't she, actually? I look like that in the mornings. One of my eyes goes a bit funny in the mornings. But, yeah, I'm really pleased to have you here, Catherine, my dear. Catherine was the wife that outlived Henry VIII. And then married a dude called Thomas Seymour, who was not a very nice man, who was actually Jane Seymour, Henry VIII's third wife's brother, one of her two brothers. Yeah, he wasn't a very nice man. But you outlived the king. Well done for surviving that. And there's this one really cool story where, well, it's not really a cool story, it's a terrifying story, where at one point the king was on the verge of having her arrested for heresy, because she was quite into, like, Protestantism, early Protestantism, like the Reformation stuff. And she sort of begged for her life by saying she was just a feeble woman, like, what did she know? Like, spare me, I'm just a woman, I know nothing. And the king fell for it, and she was saved. So she's a very bright woman and would probably, I think, have got on quite well with Anne Boleyn. So I like to imagine that if they'd known each other they would have been friends, because they were both into Protestantism, like, or the Reformation stuff quite a lot. So yeah, I think they'd be friends. I like you, Catherine Parr. And look at her dotty little hat. I've only just noticed that. I don't know if that's going to show on here. It's lovely. I love you very much, and your friends will love you too. The other wives will be your friends now. You're not allowed to argue over religion or anything, because it's 2015, almost 2016, and we don't do that anymore. Well, clearly we do that still, but we don't do that on my shelf in my bedroom. Okay, so then this is the present I got from one of my best friends. I have two best friends, and one of them is my brother, and some people think that's really rubbish. They're like, what do you mean one of your best friends is your brother? But they don't get it. But if they knew my brother, they would understand. He's like one of the funniest, he's probably the funniest person I've ever met in my whole life. I tell you what, some of the best times of my entire life have been watching really rubbish films with my brother while he gives an entire running commentary throughout the whole thing. And I cry and I shake and I just go into absolute hysterics. He's hilarious. But anyway, my other best friend, I actually don't see her as much as I would like to because of my anxiety and stuff, and she's gone off to uni and she actually spent a year in France. She's really, really brainy and like sort of very driven and just very inspirational sort of person, actually, my friend. And she popped by on Christmas Eve and she gave me this present. Look, it's a Marvel hanging door sign. Would you look at that? And the funny thing about this, I love this so much, but look at Thor's face in this. Like, Thor, what is that with you, mate? He's having a sulk on there. But that's going to go on my door, basically. At the moment, I have a big poster of Pietro Maximoff on my door, and you are going to hang on my door handle. Oh, I just realised I forgot to show you one of the presents I got from my mum. I chose this myself. It's from Pandora. Look at this ring. I'm showing you the middle ring, by the way. That's not... Basically, it's a daisy ring. The star ring I got at this little shop somewhere, and it's lovely, but it's very sharp on the sides. So sometimes when I go to rub my face or something, it like scratches me and it's really painful. And one day my eye is gonna get totally ruined by this ring, so I have to be so careful with it. But yeah, I just love this ring so much, and I saw it in Pandora, and my mum got it for me, and yeah, I'm just so grateful, because I really love silver more than gold. Silver jewellery is my thing. And I've also got this Pandora ring, which I got last year on my birthday, like a little red heart. Yeah. So I now have these three rings, and I wear them all the time. They're like real silver, and I just love them. My mum wears real silver rings, and she has done since I was little, and she collects them, and she has loads of them. And I think I just kind of inherited her liking for silver rings, because now I want to do the same thing. So over my lifetime, I'm going to amass them, hopefully. Okay, so now it's the presents from my brother, and my brother is just the most amazing person in the world. Like, honestly, he's fantastic. And you might know I have a thing called the shelf of ladies in my bedroom, which recently, it's not really the shelf of ladies anymore, because I got really into Thunderbirds this year, and now the Thunderbird, like the Tracy brothers, are now on my shelf, so now it's just a shelf of people, but mostly ladies. And Pietro's on there a few times. I have a few Pietro figures. But yeah, I'll show you what he got for my shelf of ladies / people. So first of all, he got me Rey from Star Wars. It's a Funko Pop. And I only have one Funko Pop. I have Baby Groot Funko Pop, because I thought Baby Groot was really cute. I haven't actually seen Star Wars The Force Awakens yet, but I know exactly what happens, because my brother went on the night it came out at midnight, and then when it finished at like 3 o'clock, we spent like an hour and a half just with Dan telling me everything that happened and me asking every sort of inane question ever. And so I know everything that happens, and we're hopefully going next week. I wish I could have gone with him, because my dad and my brother and 2 of my cousins went together, but obviously because of my panic and anxiety in public, I can't really go into the cinema when it's crowded. I have to be really careful, and I have to book seats that are right on the end, and I have to have someone willing to drive me back if I freak out in public, so it's really not very pleasant. But hopefully we're going to go this week and see it. But I just know I'm going to love Rey. Daisy Ridley, who plays her, is an absolute goddess, and I've actually been a fan of hers since she featured in Casualty. It's a long story that I won't tell here, but yeah, I've been a fangirl of Daisy Ridley since her Casualty days. Funnily enough, this present we actually got each other, because I got my brother a set of the main characters in The Force Awakens, because Dan collects Funko Pops. His bedroom is just like Funko Pops everywhere. DC, Marvel and Star Wars, they're all over the place and they're so cute and their heads are so tactile and you want to squeeze them. Well, I want to squeeze them anyway. So yeah, we got each other the same present, which is quite amusing, but I'm not complaining. I love Ray so much. So she's going to go on my shelf tonight, aren't you? And of course, the other Funko Pop he got me for my shelf of ladies is Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, who's probably one of my all-time favourite characters ever. I've spoken before about how much I love Wanda, and yes, you're going to go on the shelf, my dear, with the other Wandas and many, many versions of your brother. You're going to love it. So now I'm going to show you the last present that I got from my brother, and the last present I'm going to show you. And it is the most amazing present, and I was so emotional when I got it that I just stared at it for a little while, not comprehending that it was mine, and then I went across the room and just gave my brother a massive hug, interrupting his own present opening session, because I was just overwhelmed. I still feel overwhelmed by it now, like, I can't believe it. So, it's just amazing in so many ways. So first of all, this is what I got. It's a card. Wait, you need to see what's in the card. But first of all, it's Have an FAB Christmas. And if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with the Thunderbirds, like actually obsessed. So this card by itself just made my day because I love it and I'm going to, well, I was going to frame it and put it on my wall, but you'll see why not in a minute. So then I opened the card. Now I'll open it facing me first because there's like a personal message in it from my brother which I won't be showing you. Okay, but I will show you. Now bear in mind, I had no clue that this was going to be given to me whatsoever. I will just leave this here for you, so... Yes, my friends, yes, it is what you think it is. It's an autograph from Luke Newberry. And not just an autograph, my friends. He says, "Dear Claudia, wishing you a very Merry Christmas. Lots of love, Luke Newberry, and a kiss. This Christmas, Luke Newberry wished me a Merry Christmas with lots of love and a kiss." So Luke Newberry is the lead character in one of my favourite TV shows of all time, In the Flesh, and I love him. And he's probably like my favourite actor ever. And I was really blown away that my brother got this for me. Basically, earlier on in this year, my brother went to London. He sees quite a lot of plays and things because he's a drama student. And so he went off to watch the play Teddy Ferreira with Luke Newberry in it. And I knew he got a picture with Luke Newberry, which he put on Instagram, and I was so jealous and so excited as well because they're like two of my favourite people ever in the same photograph. And he said, oh yeah, Luke Newberry was really friendly and it was great to meet him, and I was so pleased that Dan met him. It just felt amazing. But I just didn't even think that he could have done something like that. It just didn't even hit me, and just, oh my god, I can't believe it. Don't you think that's one of the best presents ever? Don't you think that? Like, isn't my brother the best? Actually, you don't need to answer that. I can tell you that myself. My brother is the best, and he always will be the best, and he was the best before he got me this present, but it's just like further secured his status as the best. Also, how lovely is Luke Newberry? My brother apparently said to him, "Oh, I've got a Christmas card for my sister and she really likes you. Would you mind signing it for her?" And instead of just signing his name, he wrote me a whole blimmin' message, like a proper Christmas card. How nice is that man? So yeah, my favourite person got me an autograph from my favourite actor, so I'm really, really happy about that. And I don't think I'll ever get over it. Okay, so this has been my What Did I Get for Christmas 2015 video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm so lucky and so grateful. My family have been just so generous, really. I can't believe it. They've done a lot for me. I'll be making a resolutions video this year, actually, just because I need it to be there on video so that I can't, like, wiggle out of them later. Like, I need them there and for other people to have witnessed them, so I have to stick to them in this year. So that'll be coming soon. As for my Doctor Who reviews, I've got 2 that are already reviewed, but they're about like 16 or 17 minutes long each, and I have to closed caption those, and because it's like around Christmas time, I'm super busy. Like, I'm always with my grandma and granddad at their house, or nipping out here, nipping out there with my mum. So it's like, it's getting the time to close caption them, but you will get them. They are coming. I promise you they are coming. They do exist. But anyway, yeah, I love you loads, and I hope you had a really nice Christmas, and I hope you have a great New Year, and I'll give you my resolutions video really soon. I love you loads, and I'll see you soon. Bye!